Hello, midlife sisters. Hope everyone is having a fabulous Tuesday. It is sunny and 20 degrees here. Literally life-changing when the weather is like that. Hey, Nicole? Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Yes. Hello, springtime. Hello,
Yeah.
spring detox.
Yes, love it. So, speaking of detox, that is our theme this month is reducing toxins in the products that we use every day. So, we talked about the kitchen last week, and this week we're going to talk about our bathroom. There are so many toxins in the products that we use. And as women, we use so many products every day, just getting ready from showering to then moisturizing to our hair care to our makeup, and the list goes on and on. So we thought we'd share a few of our favorites, just some that we use. There are lots more in addition to this. So I'll just start first. Toothpaste. I use a brand called Tom's because it doesn't have fluoride in it. And I love it. It's minty fresh. There's a few of them, but again, it's just one simple way to reduce some toxins that we're getting in our toothpaste. And I brush my teeth at least twice a day. So that's a huge difference if I can reduce that toxin coming into my body that many times. So there are lots of other men in my life in toothpaste. Tom just happens to be my favorite. There's lots of other brands as well that you can find if you can't find this one near you. But I like this. If you're in Canada, the Superstore has it. Pretty much every health food store has it, and it tastes really great. Nicole has a flavor. Oh, she shared it with me. I'll just warn you if you get it. What was the flavor, Nicole? It was brown. I'm like, what is this poop that you're putting on my
It
toothbrush?
was charcoal.
Anise.
It was
Charcoal?
charcoal and anise. Yeah.
Oh, anise, yeah. So it tasted differently. I really like a minty one, but it wasn't bad. It was just we just had a good laugh because it was brown. The other thing, deodorant, and Lord knows it's hard to find a deodorant that works. I mean, there's so many natural deodorants that leave you smelling natural. That ain't so nice a lot of times, especially at the gym, or I find if I've eaten not so great, oh my gosh, then it's coming out. So these are two that I swear by. This one is called Nat Natura Dry by Green Beaver. This one here. And it's great. It works. And then this one I've had forever. It's actually a crystal. I love this one. It was $4 online. Whoops, I bought them for all my girls now. And it actually smells, well, actually, it doesn't have any smell, but it tastes like salt. I wanted to know what this was. So that's it. And it's neutralizing the odor. So that's why you don't smell. So I love this. I've literally had it for years and it's barely made a dent. So I don't know if I'll ever need to buy another in my lifetime. Face cream. Oh my gosh. These are just two that I've been using. There's endless numbers. I actually forgot to bring one of them down, but this one, Mad Hippie, it's really nice on your skin. And a new one that I've been trying out is called Purity Woods. I looked at obviously the ingredients and all these, and really, really nice on our face. One other I'll mention, it's just harder to get because you have to go through a medical esthetician. It's called Dermed. Friend of mine recommends that. So if somebody wants to try that, you can. It's great. And then, of course, our omega oils, our Juice Plus Omegas are brilliant for our skin, helps reduce fine lines and wrinkles. And since using that on my face, it has never felt softer and more hydrated. So I live on the lake, so I'm either in the winter skating, skiing, or in the summer in and out of the water. So my skin used to feel dry all the time, but since I started adding that to it, oh, it feels so good. And then lastly, speaking of summertime and stuff like that, oh, actually a couple things, is sunscreen. So again, just finding something really clean without the oh, what is it called, Nicole? What is it that I'm having a mind block in our sunscreen we don't want our the ingredient.
Um, I know I'm like totally blank as well too right now. I
All
have to
right, well,
think.
we'll come back to that as soon as it pops into one of our heads. And
Mhm.
just look for it. Like this is 99% organic, or something else you could even use is a mineral. So this is a powder and it just comes out through the brush and you can put this on your face or your whole body. And same with bug spray while we're on the summer topic. Beautiful blend of essential oils a friend of mine makes. So you can use that instead of those toxic ones like off. And perfumes, also essential oils. You can do this instead of perfumes because sadly they have a lot of harmful ingredients as well. All right. Share with us, Nicole, what are some things you do differently in your bathroom?
So first off, in regards to the things to avoid in the sunscreen, I just looked it up. So it's like parabens.
Thank you. Yeah,
Is
the word
that
I
what
was
you were
looking
looking for? The
for. Yeah.
parabens. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was
But
thinking
there's
BPA's, and I'm like, no, that's the black plastics.
right. I know. Yeah, the parabens are a big one for sure for our skin. And half of the words I can't even pronounce, but oxybenzone, oxytocate, retinol, palmitate, homoslate. I'm like, oh my
Oh my God.
gosh, it's endless, right? But thank you for that. I'll quickly share like my journey began at the age of 47 when I really got a big wake up call when I had lumps in my breasts. And that put me on a huge journey of going, okay, Nicole, where can you control the toxins that come into your body? And so I took a deep dive. A lot of you know that I wrote a book. Gosh, I think it's like 5 years ago. It's called Get Naked with Your Natural Hair Color. That's the first edition. The second one is called The Gorgeous Gray Movement. Lots of information in that book. You can still get it on Amazon. But what started me down the rabbit hole was I had 1 week to wait to see if they were cancerous. And so I waited for that phone call for a week. But in that week, I really dove in to figure out like, where am I putting lots of toxins in my body that I'm not aware of? One of them was hair. I was like, I was dyeing my hair every 2 to 3 weeks. I had that like white demarcation, or for some of us, we call it the skunk line. And it was coming on really strong. I had a lot of white hair. I still was dark hair. And I have a whole chapter in my book about this, but the amount of toxicity, I think there was like 37 toxins within the hair dye I was using at my hair salon. And it goes right on your scalp, right? Like right on your scalp, one layer and that whole. And I was starting as I was getting older, late 40s, I was starting to really notice like my skin was getting itchy and irritated. And I would walk out of the salon and with this big, dark brown, almost stain on my skin. And yet I sucked it up. I tolerated it. I was like, I am not going gray. I'm too young to go gray. So the first thing I want to talk about is one of the biggest toxins that come into our body from a hair care standpoint is if you are dyeing, and if you're dyeing with dark, that's the even the worst. So some of the women that I work with, they'll do like maybe blonde highlights that aren't touching the scalp, a little bit of a better option. And then there's a lot of healthy alternatives. I know that just in my area, there are two organic hair salons that you can go to. One is in Newmarket, and you can just research it, natural or organic hair salons in my area. And then like meet the owner, find out what their story is. There will always be a story, I guarantee, about why they decided to go from that side to this side. And it's incredible. And then what they do is their whole mission is to make sure that they bring in products that support reduced levels of toxins. So they usually have brands from Europe, some from Australia, and I have some upstairs. One is called the Organic Color Systems. They have a really nice kind of purple shampoo that I use to bring down that kind of like yellow. So if you're not ready to go gray like myself, and Melissa, you allowed your beautiful sparkles to come in about what, 4 or 5 years ago, and so you've never had to dye it. So she's got the, I call it this, the Christmas, what do you call it, the tinsel. That's just kind of like naturally blended in, so she didn't have to go through any real hard transition like so many women do. But anyways, take a look at it. You can also get healthier products as well at the health food store for putting, again, less chemicals on your hair. So that's the first thing about like hair color. And then of course, like anything to do with like shampoo or cream rinse or conditioning is just to be very aware of getting clean ingredients. I went into my daughter's, because I don't use too much in my hair these days, but this is a pretty popular product at the health food store. They have a whole line called Bamboo. And they are all about getting rid of, kind of like the top 10 most dangerous toxins in your hair care. This is another brand I have been using for a very long time. It's called Giovanni, and they actually have cream rinse, and they have shampoo, and they have lots of conditioner. Another great product that I have used before. And then Welda. When my girls went to the Waldorf school, this was a product that came in from Germany. It's expensive, but very, very clean. Why do some of our products really have to come from other countries? but
Right. And why
oftentimes
are
it
they
does.
more? They're putting less in it, and why is it more? I guess
Because
those.
it costs more money to bring natural products in versus the cheap synthetic. Unfortunately, it's like kind of a backward world where you want to eat healthy and you go for a salad and it costs you $20, or you can go to McDonald's or whatever fast food, right, and grab a cheap burger. So yeah, even those burgers are getting expensive, I hear. So okay, so that's kind of about hair. So check that off. Is how can I swap out my hair products for better ones? This product here is called New Roots. It's argan oil, and I actually just use it for the bottom of my hair when it gets a little bit dry. And I just kind of twirl it in and then just let that beautiful oil, because my hair tends to be on the more dry side. But one ingredient, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. Can you eat it? Can you taste it? Can you put it on your skin? Yes, you can put this on your skin. You can also put it on your cuticles as well too, and the back of your heels if you have rough heels on your feet. Okay, so hair. I want to talk about makeup. Okay, so Melissa, she was talking earlier just about. I think it depends on the resource, the source that you find. But I have seen anywhere from the average woman is putting on anywhere between 250 and over 500 chemicals before they leave in the car to go to work. That is like insane. One of the biggest toxins that come in, which most women don't understand, is fragrance. So fragrance in your shampoo, fragrance in your conditioner, fragrance, the perfume is probably one of the worst. So I use essential oils and I rub it on. And again, like one ingredient, right? There you go. There's your essential oil. Exactly. So different options. I usually kind of use what's called like a BB cream. This product, I believe, is from the United States. It's pretty clean. It has a nice tint. So I just rub a little bit on. It's got moisturizer in it as well too, and it just kind of cleans up the patches that you might have or red on your face. But I like that it also has a healthy sunscreen. On this one, it has SPF of 30. So a nice BB cream, clean ingredients. Where do you get something like this? Health food store. Okay. Also, there's a whole brand called Mineral Fusion. Again, they have a whole line. I got this again at the health food store. Pacifica from, I believe California is a brand, Pacifica. And they have, again, makeup that has a lot of the less chemicals than you would find in your regular stuff. What
Hey,
else
Nicole,
do?
and what we should mention too for people is sunscreen, just like it says, it's a screen. So it still allows sun's rays to go through. But
Yeah,
when you use a block such as mineral powder, like you showed, and I showed my one here,
yeah.
that's a complete block. So it's now that we've said that, it's like, oh yeah, of course. But I'd never thought about that before. I thought those two names were just interchangeable, sunscreen, sunblock. But no, one is a full coverage and the other is still a sunscreen. So depending on what you want, buy accordingly.
Right. And I know that you use coconut oil a lot, right? Did you mention that or did I miss it? Coconut oil to take off your makeup,
Yeah.
right? At
Yeah,
night.
I use
So
that
when we traveled in Mexico and I forgot mine, you always had yours, and you can use
always.
it. Oh, use it as a moisturizer from any part of your body, ladies, even the dry parts
Inside and
down there.
outside. Yeah, and it's great because it's a one-stop shop. You can use it for everything. So it's great to travel with. I
It
just
is.
put it in a tight container in a plastic bag because if you're traveling different temperatures, it will melt and then leak.
Yeah,
Speaking from
exactly.
experience. So
And then the last thing is your feminine products. So your pads, your tampons. If you're a woman that is still menstruating, it's one of the things that most of us get bought into buying your name brand products. That when you look at, let's say, a tampon, for example, that white cotton, not only is it been bleached, so you're literally putting like chlorine up your woohoo, but then it's a level of toxins and pesticides and herbicides on the cotton. Cotton is one of the worst sprayed fields in the world. So not only are you putting those toxins up there, then you're dealing with the bleach. And you've heard of toxic syndrome, right? Where women can really go, I'm going to say septic from having that or forgetting about it or leaving up there way too long. So, there are natural products, again, that you can get at the health food store that are brown. They're not bleached. I know that we're so bought into everything needs to be white, like our toilet paper. And when we were in Mexico, Melissa,
Oh,
what did we have to do when we went to wipe in some of the places? We had to plug our nose because why?
I know. I'd never heard of this. They actually have scented toilet paper, and I was actually nervous using it.
Mhm.
When I was down in the house that I was renting, they had some of that there. I thought, good God, why are they putting that there? So yeah, I just left it and bought some other stuff.
Right.
But the reason they do is because you walk into the bathroom, you're like, oh, that smells so nice. Don't be fooled, girls. More toxins coming at you.
Yeah. So I want you to think about getting rid of the scents in your house, and we're going to talk about that, I believe, next week on that. But even just in the bathroom, like where are the scents that are coming in? If it's not one ingredient, if it's not as an essential oil, you don't need it. I remember when I did find out that I had these lumps in my breast, one of the first things that I went to was actually my bathroom. I remember opening up the drawer and looking, and I was like, I was so clear. I was like, my breasts are more important than anything right now. And I think I cleared out 90% of my stuff. I remember just getting this like fancy lipsticks, the stuff, the permanent lipsticks that don't come
Yeah.
off. I got it from a friend of mine because I hit a promotion. And she's like, I want to let you know these are really special. I paid over $100 for them. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I remember I barely had used it, but I looked at it and I literally threw it in the garbage. I didn't even want to give it away to somebody because it was just not against my values, right? So it's those things when you just get clear that your health trumps everything. And we talked last week about estrogen dominance and estrogen estrogen toxicity, right? Like that you're just getting too much dangerous estrogens. Well, all the stuff that we're teaching you today is another way to have healthier hormones when you get rid of the toxins, right? And then the last one, for feminine products, is maybe stop using the tampons and going to something like a Diva cup. And now, like if you go into Shoppers Drug Mart and you go into the feminine products, you will see a name brand one, and the Diva, of course, is a brand name. But they're coming out more and more. And our younger generation, like my daughter, that's what she uses. She's like, I am not using tampons and buying organic pads. I know they're more expensive, but when you think about it, like our skin is our largest organ. So anytime that you are putting something on your skin, think that you are absorbing some of those toxins in. So whether it be chlorine or whether it be scents. And I'm going to say the whole thing about like women down there where you're like douching or you want it to, smell pretty and you're spraying like perfumes and all those fancy stuff. I'm like, stop it. Stop
Mhm.
it. You're going to make your pH not balanced, and we don't want that.
Yeah.
So much natural ways to take care of our skin, our body. Start with your bathroom this week. Go through it. Be curious. Read your ingredients. And the last thing that I will leave with you, write this down. EWG.org. There are a number of great apps and websites that have come up over the last 10 years. EWG was one of the first that I got introduced to. I love it because it actually does have an app where you can actually download their skin database and plug in or even take a picture of your product, and they will give you like a green light, which means good to go, a yellow light, which is a warning, and a red light, which is do not put that on your body or do not ingest. And this is how you start to kind of educate yourself, is the experts have already done the hard, heavy lifting, is they've looked at the ingredients and they've put a risk factor of, and you just have to decide if you want the risk factor of putting those ingredients in your body. Anything else you want to say on that?
Yeah, as I always say, take a breath. We've given you probably 20 different products right now. Just pick one. So if you just bought brand new shampoo, you're like, oh my God, I just bought this. This is so expensive. Don't worry, finish that bottle and then buy something better next time. So finish what you got and then you can switch one thing at a time. When you know better, you can do better. This took years. These few ingredients took years, and I'm always learning and finding something better. And even clean ingredients like deodorants, they may not work for you. So you may need to try and find another one. But yeah, just take a breath. It's a process, it's a journey. We don't have to fix everything today because it costs a lot of money. And on the topic of money, yes, those things cost more, like Nicole said, but I believe you either pay now to keep your good health, or you got to pay a lot more later on to try to get it back.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind when you're shopping for products.
Awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the kitchen next week.
See you guys.